So, hi, this is Xina Ocasio. I'm sitting here with John Halcyon Styn. He's a pretty awesome guy. He does First Saturdays here in San Diego where he helps the homeless. He does Hug Nation. He has been on the internet forever. And this is the first Xina Roadshow video. So I've been on the road since October, and I'm currently in San Diego, which is the opposite corner of the U.S. from where I started out in Boston. And we're here today. We're going to talk about Burning Man and the tickets. So this is not about the movie. It's more about what's going on in the world and what's going on with John and all the great stuff he's doing. So so Burning Man tickets. Everybody's totally freaking out about it.
Why, you think? I haven't noticed that. Really? You think people are freaking out?
Yeah, a little bit. The phone's been ringing and the email has been climbing, and
we had so last year, for the first year ever, it sold out, and so which happened, whatever, 6 months into the sales, and so everybody knew that, okay, that's a change, or something's going to be different. And so then this year, bless their hearts, the organization tried to do some things that they thought would fix things and make it better with a lottery system, and in addition to that, multiple tiers, and in addition to that, an additional selling period, which for the untrained eye appeared to be unnecessarily complex and confusing. I, because I tend to be optimistic, have tried to give it the benefit of the doubt at every corner and every turn.
I've been giving them the benefit of the doubt. It was, I fully expected that that there would be lots of extra tickets out on the market, and that's not something we've seen so far.
I think that was, and that was really the messaging from Will Chase and the organization too. Is even when before they made the announcement, they're like, hey, it appears to us that a lot of burners bought extras, which makes sense. I mean, I think that we had a big problem even by calling this a lottery. Just the terminology lottery means like, oh, if I want to win the lottery, I should buy as many tickets as possible.
Right.
As opposed to the way that they phrased it on the flip side tickets. They said, fill out this thing, send in this thing, and then if we have more applications than we have tickets, we will randomly assign, or randomly, I'm not sure exactly what the wording was, but to me it felt vastly less like I'm playing the dice and more like, well, if we have a scarcity problem, they're going to handle it as fair as possible.
Right. Yeah, I think to me that's a big difference, because it sets up a mentality of a lottery is a game, and so if it's a game, then I'm going to play it the best way that I know how to maximize my ability to get a ticket.
Sure.
So I think one of the other things that I've been thinking about with regards to tickets is I actually don't know that we know the full scope of exactly where things are, because I know that if I had an extra ticket and I didn't know who I was going to give it to, I would not be telling anybody at this moment in time, because I wouldn't want to have to go through the gazillion emails I would get of people asking me for this mystical magic golden Willy Wonka ticket. I
know a lot of people that would never consider breaking and entering unless they knew somebody had extra tickets in their house. Yeah, it's a, and I think that's a really good point, is that we just don't know. I've been, as I said, I've been trying to be as optimistic as possible, but a few seeds have been planted in me recently about, like, what is the depth of the scalper problem? A huge amount of the anger and the frustration has been directed towards scalpers right now, and if the scalping situation stays, at the level it is now, which is, there's, say, several hundred tickets that are being scalped. In the grand scheme of things, in percentage-wise, it's, less than 1%. I think that's acceptable losses for all this. Now, the very thought of a scalper doing this is painful. It's kind of like, you know that your girlfriend, you guys broke up a year ago, but still seeing her, make out with that guy still drives you crazy. It's like a scalper's that kind of thing. It's like,
yeah. It's like, don't you get it? You're just not part of the community.
And And so, but now we have the situation where scalping is a part of the situation. Mm-hmm. We have there is an item that has a value that has exceeded what the organization wants to say the value is. Mm-hmm. You know, so we're saying, everybody, please keep saying that it's worth $400. Keep saying it's worth $400. And the world, the market that we are still a part of. We have not gone into the border of Black Rock City yet, where we can say we have new rules. In these rules, the market value of this is $600.
Yeah.
So to ask people, say, look, if you're a good burner, you are going to take this $200 that you have now, the system has given you, and we want you just to say, I don't want it. Not only am I not going to go to Burning Man because I'm giving away my ticket, but I also am going to gift this profit that I've made to this other burner who didn't win.
Right.
And I mean, I love the I think it's a beautiful idea, and I think that a lot of burners will do it. I think that it will happen a lot in gifting tickets, or even gifting the opportunity to buy a cost ticket to friends. Mm-hmm. But to have an aftermarket, I've kind of lost a lot of faith in the STEP program, partially because they didn't even, not they, I don't mean to say that, I'm saying one of the problems with announcing that we're going to have an aftermarket when we still have it 3 weeks away or something, mm-hmm. means that, okay, in the meantime, what we have is a scalping market.
Right. We have a scalping market, and we also have everybody's, like, there's nothing we can do, right?
Yeah.
If you're a good burner, you're looking for face value tickets, there's no place to go right now.
Right.
You know, if you didn't win the lottery right at this moment in time, you're not going to Burning Man unless you're one of the lucky people that knows somebody that has an extra ticket.
Right.
And you know, part of me is like, there's the people who don't know who they're going to give their extra ticket to, and they're keeping quiet because they're of fear.
Right.
And then there's the people who have extra tickets who have already given them to somebody, who have already said, I ended up with extra tickets, you know, you're going. And if you haven't already been told that you got a ticket, even from a friend or from the organization, then you're freaking out.
Well, because if you take out if you just look at it from the market, I mean, if you have an extra ticket, you are deciding who you're going to give $600 to. Mm-hmm. Because if that person then could theoretically sell that ticket for $1,000. Right. So you are trusting that whoever you give this ticket to is going to be as good as you were.
Right.
I mean, and man, there's a lot of built-in tension in the system.
Yes.